We're starting this one at page 58. This is interesting. This looks like London. This is where Evie's going to live, where Neve's from. Anyone else in the class from England or London? That's a museum, I think. Anyway, let's have a look. Oh, maybe actually that's his estate. Maybe that's not London. Maybe that's Hampshire estate. I stood alone with the Duke on the lawn beside his great house. Oh, it is his great house. I got that wrong. But it made me think of London, because London has a lot of these. I stood alone with the Duke on the lawn beside his great house. Well, Billy, he said, I'm glad you are all happy. But what about you, my lad? I'm wondering if you happen to just have one extra little special wish for yourself. If you do, I'd love you to tell me about it. There was a sudden tingling in my toes. I felt as though something tremendous might be going to happen at any moment. Yes, I murmured nervously. I do have one extra special little wish. And what might that be? Said the Duke in a kindly voice. There is an old wooden house near where I live. It's called the Grubber. Oh, turn and tell your neighbour what the Grubber is. Remember, it's the sweet shop. And long ago, it used to be a sweet shop. I have wished and wished that one day somebody might come along and make it into a marvellous new sweet shop all over again. Somebody, cried the Duke. What do you mean, somebody? You and I will do that. We'll do it together. We'll make it the most wonderful sweet shop in the world. And you, my boy, will own it. Whenever the old Duke got excited, his enormous moustache started to bristle up and jump about. Right now, they were jumping up and down so much it looked as if he had a squirrel on his face. By gad, sir, he cried, waving his stick, I shall buy the place today. Then we shall work and have the whole thing ready in no time. We shall wait and see what sort of sweet shop we are going to make out of this Grubber place of yours. It was amazing how quickly things began to happen after that. There was no problem about buying the house, because it was owned by Giraffe, Pelly, and Monkey, and they insisted upon giving it to the Duke for nothing. Then the builders and the carpenters moved in and rebuilt the whole of the inside so that once again it had 3 floors. On one of the floors, they put together rows and rows of tall shelves. There were ladders to climb up to the highest shelves and baskets to carry what you bought. It's a bit like a library, really. A library of sweets. Then the sweets and the chocolate and the toffees and the fudges and the nougats began pouring in to fill the shelves. They came by aeroplane from every country in the world, the most wild and wondrous things you could ever imagine. There were gum twizzlers, fizzwinkles from China, froth blowers, spit sizzlers from Africa, tummy ticklers and gobwangles from the Fijian Islands. From where Lo's from. Lip lickers and plush nuggets from the land of the midnight sun. You know where the midnight sun is, where it's sunny at midnight? Remember, in the North Pole and the South Pole, half of the year, or some of the year, it's dark all day and night, and then for some of the year, it's light all day and night. So they call that the land of the midnight sun. Let's go through those again, because I love the way Roald Dahl makes up words. If you've read the BFG, you'll know that he loves making up words. Listen to the names of the sweets. He's made them up. You could think about this if you were ever writing a story. There were gum twizzlers, fizzwinkles, froth blowers, spit sizzlers, tummy ticklers, gobwangles, lip lickers, plush nuggets. It's fun making up words. For 2 whole weeks, the flood of Boxes and sacks continued to arrive. I could no longer keep track of all the countries they came from, but you can bet your life that as I unpacked each new batch, I sampled it carefully. That means he tasted each one. When you sample things, you taste them. I sampled each one. I can remember especially the giant whangdoodles from Australia. Everyone had a huge, ripe red strawberry hidden inside its crispy chocolate crust. Oh, I love strawberries. And the electric fizz-cocklers that made every hair on your head stand up on end as soon as you popped one into your mouth. Look at these girls have obviously had one. Their hair is standing up on end. Oh, that's a boy and a girl. And there were niche nobblers, gum glotters, blue bubblers, sherbet slurpers, tongue rakers, and as well as all this, there was a whole lot of splendid stuff from the great Wonka factory. Some of you have read Charlie and the Chocolate Factory with your mummy and daddy or seen the movie. The Wonka factory, Willy Wonka's factory. For example, the famous Willy Wonka rainbow drops. Suck them and you can spit in 7 different colours. And his stick jaw for talkative parents. You give it to your parents and their jaw gets stuck together from the sweets. His mint jujubes that will give you the boy next door green teeth in his mouth. On the grand opening day, I decided to allow all my customers to help themselves for free. Wow. And the place was so crowded that with children that you could hardly move. The television cameras, the newspaper reporters were all there, and the old Duke himself stood outside in the road with my friends, the giraffe and the Pelly and the monkey, watching the marvelous scene. I came out of the shop to join them all for a few moments, and I bought each of them a bag of special sweets and a present. So I'm going to show you the picture, see if you can see people with their TV cameras and reporters interviewing people, and if you can see Billy being interviewed by a reporter, because the reporter has got a pen and paper and he's writing down the answers to Billy's questions. You see the cameras? They're from the TV studio, they're filming, and they'll take it back and put it on TV, maybe on the news that night. And can you see Billy down the bottom with the reporter? With his box of sweets, and I can also see Monkey. I think Monkey is hanging off Giraffe's neck. So he was very kind to brought each reporter some sweets. To the Duke, because the weather was a little chilly, I gave some scarlet scorch droppers that had been sent to me from Iceland. The label said that they were guaranteed to make a person who sucked them as warm as toast, even if he was standing in the North Pole in the middle of winter. The moment the Duke popped one into his mouth, thick smoke came gushing out of the old boy's nostrils in such quantities that I thought his mustache was going to go up in flames. "Terrific," he cried, hopping about. "Tremendous stuff. I'd like to take a case of this home, please." To the giraffe, I gave a bag of glumptious glob gobblers. The gob gobbler is an extremely delicious sweet that is made somewhere near Mecca. And the moment you bite it, all the perfumed juices of Arabia. Has anyone lived in Saudi Arabia or been to Dubai? That's an area with lots of countries. Arabia has lots of countries, but one of them is called Saudi Arabia, and there's a place called Mecca there, which is very important to Muslims like Miss Zai. All the perfume juices of Arabia go squirting down your gullet, one after the other. It's wonderful, cried the giraffe, as a cascade of lovely liquid flavors poured all the way down her long throat. It's even better than my favorite pink and purple flowers. Look how the illustrator has illustrated Giraffe's neck. It's made it all wobbly. Okay, we're going to stop there. That's page 69. We've just got that much more of the book to go. Oh, actually, we've only got a few pages to go. Next one's going to be very short.